I thought that the conservative right was very much interested in local control, and all we're seeing is statewide intervention in what people can teach on the local and county level. But when you look at...
That's kind of bullshit because, first of all, when he's talking about like these books that are being like the Dear Martin book, this was entirely on a local level. These are all on local level.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was one dude at a school board. Yeah.
Right. Like I don't. This is kind of bullshit.
It is bullshit.
What cannot...
State is more local than federal anyway. So
right, and that was always the contention was to give the right wing talking point was always to give the state more control than the federal government.
Right.
Not be taught now. You can't talk to students about why we ultimately had the biggest war in American history.
Citation, please.
Yeah, you're not allowed to talk about slavery.
Please give me a single fucking citation where there's some school district in America that cannot talk about slavery in the Civil War anymore.
Those Republicans. Slavery's off limits now.
Sneaky Republicans. It's interesting how Republicans can pass laws that every civil rights activist in the 1960s would have been super happy about, but somehow today the language magically transforms before our eyes with Harry Potter wizardry and makes you can't talk about the Civil War. Somehow.
It's cell phone guy again.
There's cell phone guy. Yeah.
With his, what do they call those in Britain? Placard or something?
Oh, instead of a picket sign, the
sign,
placard. Yeah.
To it, why we have a 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment, what Reconstruction was, how Texas left Mexico, and the fact that racism, white supremacy, and slavery were at the cornerstone of that. How
this is so dishonorable. All these things have nothing to do with any of these laws, the anti-CRT laws. This is such lies.
Yeah. Systemic
lies.
He doesn't know. He's just heard the talking points.
Yeah, but that's what's so gross. It's like, oh, let's have a guest on to just repeat the garbage that he read in some other article that some other person wrote from garbage that he heard from someone else. Like, this is just a fucking game of,
telephone.
Left-wing telephone, basically.
Yeah, it is. He read an article on the Daily Beast 5 minutes before he got this gig. Right.
Florida came into the Union, and Andrew Jackson's concerns about Black slaves escaping into what was then a Spanish territory in the 18 teens. We can't talk about how Maine and Missouri came into the Union. We can't talk about the history of California and the compromise that created a federal bureaucracy to track down fugitive slaves in order to allow California to come in as a free state. The fundamental history of the country is illegible if we accede to the ridiculous demands that are being imposed upon schools and teachers, by Republican legislators.
Where's the fact checkers, Chris? Oh, whenever I do my shows, we have to have fact checkers come. They fact check things. Where's your fact checking on this shit?
Yeah, nowhere to be found.
You have a guest on your show just spouting nonsense.
Yeah,
total. This is 100% Alex Jones level conspiracy theory bullshit. This is beyond Alex Jones level conspiracy theory. This is there are lizards in our government level conspiracy.
Yeah,
there are lizard people that are communicating with aliens by taking DMT level conspiracy theory.
We can't talk about slavery anymore. Just can't do it. These laws make it illegal.
I tell you, Chris, those lizards, they snort the DMT. And they tell the aliens, they don't let the kids learn about the history of America anymore. Don't let the kids learn about racism.
Yeah. Dr. Robert Malone has more cred than this guy by a long shot.
But no, Joe Rogan is just this wealth of disinformation and not fact-checking his material.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
All of that is so well said and so important. And what
and then Chris Hayes here is like, let me get down on my hands and knees. How do you like it? Let me blow you real good after that presentation. Like, that's the pushback that he gives him.
Right. let me lovingly caress your testicles. Yes.
Yeah. New rule makes it harder. That's called a callback, Sitch.
There you go.
But I'm also struck by, and this is, you touch on this a bit in your piece about.
Oh, you touch on
he
this.
touched his piece.
He did. He just admitted
It's a comedy show. He touched his piece.
Self-report. Self-report right here.
On MLK Day in the New Yorker. This sort of.
Oh, wait. This guy was in the New Yorker. Okay. He's a writer. Do they?
So
they don't even have a Cairo. How disrespectful.
Yeah, what?
You have a black author on your show. Mm-hmm. Instead of putting a Chiron up so we can look this guy up, you know, see some of his recent tweets, you've got this lie about Black History Month up instead. How evil. This guy, do you think this guy came on your show to not get his name out into the public? Come on, Chris. If this guy was white, you'd have the name up. That's for sure.
Chris, why are you so racist?
Narrowing that's happened, it's so wild to find ourselves 180 degrees where like the notion of comfort or divisiveness are the kind of operating principle this is all cloaked in, and not make people feel not make kids feel uncomfortable. And
it's so bizarre that they do that when as soon as you want to talk about the transgender issue and pronouns and stuff like that, then all of a sudden it's just like pissing into the wind. It's like, we got to make these people comfortable. They're suicidal. What are we going to do? What do you... When it's their ideology, yeah.
When it comes to our issues, okay, when it comes to our issues that we hold dear, we have to make sure that all the people, and especially the children, have to all be as comfortable as possible. Oh, we can't let them possibly face any anxiety, any discomfort. Everything must conform with their pre-held beliefs about gender ideology and whatever woke bullshit we're going to talk about.
Yeah, but when it's your kids, we're going to make them uncomfortable as hell. We want them sweating bullets.
What, you evil right-wing white children are uncomfortable that we're saying that whiteness is evil? Suck it up, snowflake. What, you don't want to be discriminated on the basis of your race? Get in line, child, please. It's our turn now, fuckers.
That's
like, what is this nonsense?
It's exactly what's happening. It's so patently obvious. It's so transparent.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, everyone's about to be, you've got a third grader. You're going to talk to them in certain ways. You want to, like, stress them out too much, right?
Classic
he's walking
phony white ally Chris Hayes, okay? He doesn't want the third graders to learn about slave rapes when they're 8. God, Chris, you're such a fucking tone police phony. You're such a liberal. I'm disgusted. Ugh.
I feel like you're really getting triggered, man. This is good. Keep going.
About like the horrors of slavery. But like the idea that comfort is this sort of operating pedagogical principle now.
Okay, Vosh.
Yeah,
pedagogical principle, huh? Oh, yeah. Comfort. It's all in our pedagogy.
It's all about comfort, yeah.
Imposed by the right to cordon off what can and can't be known is a remarkable irony given all the safe space snowflake stuff we were subjected to over the last decade.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, it's almost like they're using your bullshit argument against you.
Yeah. Yes.
It's almost like that's the point, Chris.
Yeah. They're holding you to the standard that you set forth.
I'm Chris Hayes. My brain is so massive, it cannot be contained in my skull. I don't understand. I think it's ridiculous that the right wants to hold me to the same standard that I'm trying to hold them to. Can you imagine the irony there?
God, it's so good.
These hypocrites want me to follow the same standard that I want to pose on them. I can't believe it.
I honestly feel like you are the conscience of Chris Hayes now. It's like you're tapping straight into his brainware.
There you go. Listen, I hacked into his brainwave.
When's this guy getting off? When's this guy? When are they releasing this guy from boredom? from disinterest? I don't want him to get canceled, but how do people watch this stuff? Like, I don't know. I guess we're not the demographic.
We are not the demographic.
Right. It's the demographic is people who want to see racism everywhere.
I want to say Republican bad.
Racism. Right, yeah. I hate Republicans. Republicans are evil.
Sure. And I think that the idea is that we want to terrorize children. Of course, we believe in teaching things that are age appropriate, and you scale according to the complexity that children can grasp at any point in time. But it's very dangerous to impose this standard of comfort, because you can't really teach anything. The history of this country, to the extent that we can say that there's...
I'm down with ditching the standard of comfort. I mean, I think that's silly. But I mean, literally teaching untruths. I'm a hard pass on that. Like, if it's not true, fuck you.
It's fucking crazy to me that in the year 2022, we have supposedly Black civil rights groups that are upset that the law says teachers should not be making children feel uncomfortable because of their skin color.
Yeah, I know.
What the fuck is happening?
They're in full revenge mode. It's complete revenge mode. It's like, okay.
Oh my God.
It's so weird because have they experienced the racism in the classroom? I mean, it's difficult for me to say that there were racist teachers at any of the schools I went to. So, but I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
No, and then they make this bullshit claim. Oh, this law is so broad. It's so vague. You're not going to be able to talk about the civil rights or the Civil War or anything. It's like, well, do you have an example of this? Or are you just talking out of your ass? This is just all bullshit speculation.
I have a window into some schooling just because I have that friend that runs a charter school that's trying to get me to teach a class there. So, and I mean, the stories she tells are fucking fascinating. I mean, I'm just like, I don't know. It seems a school environment seems very intriguing to me these days.
His greatness in this country is about people overcoming circumstances that were decidedly uncomfortable. And so that's the actual tradition that we should be lifting up. Instead, we've effectively neutered history and made it impossible for it to even serve outside of it as a lesson. It can't even serve as an inspiration in this context.
I mean, we read the summary of To Kill a Mockingbird, which was literally the book that was replaced by the other book that spawned this entire conversation.
That book is To Kill a Mockingbird was written by a well-known Nazi. I think Hitler wrote To Kill a Mockingbird.
To Kill a Mockingbird, though, does approach uncomfortable subject matter. I don't. I mean, I'm uncomfortable knowing that there's injustice in the world. So
I mean, I'm pretty sure that Mockingbird is actually a code word for Jew, and that To Kill a Mockingbird is actually a Nazi screed that was written by Hitler's daughter.
Ouch.
So,
ouch.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's true. I heard that somewhere from a guy, and I'm just gonna run with it.
You could probably get a spot on Chris Hayes' show if you promise to say that.
Oh, you're right.